English is easy with teacher Anna.
If you're new to my channel, please watch, hit like, and comment below. And don't forget to click the notification bell to be updated to my videos.
Hello and welcome to our lesson on synthesizing essential information found in various sources. In this video, we will discuss how to gather information from different sources and combine them into a cohesive whole. Synthesizing information is a crucial skill in today's information age. With so much information available at our fingertips, it's easy to get overwhelmed and lost in the details. However, synthesizing information can help us make sense of complex topics and make informed decisions. Before we start, let us check your background knowledge about the lesson. Read the instructions below. Do well. Directions. Read each item carefully. Choose the letter of the correct answer. 1. What do you call the most important idea in a paragraph or text? A. Main idea. B. Subtopics. C. Supporting details. D. Topic sentence. 2. What skill is used when the text is effectively reduced into a shorter form? A. Outlining. B. Paraphrasing. C. Skimming. D. Summarizing. 3. Where do you get first-hand information? A. Primary sources. B. Tertiary references. C. Secondary materials. D. Online material. 4. Which of the following is an example of secondary sources? A. Art. B. Encyclopedia. C. Manuscript. D. Photograph. 5. What does synthesis mean? A. Stating facts. B. Focusing on one idea. C. Summarizing ideas. D. Combining parts into whole. Six. When analyzing ideas from various sources, which of the following do you include in the process to get an overall view of the information? A. Add one's opinion. B. Judge the worth of ideas. C. Criticize the author's views. D. Make inferences from arguments. 7. You are asked to search information about the current environmental condition of the country. What will you do with the sources of information? A. List the ideas separately. B. Study the differences of ideas. C. Choose the longest explanation. D. Find similarities between sources. 8. When looking for additional information, which of the following strategy is used in analyzing and utilizing the ideas among sources? A. Combining features into one. B. Comparing the author's ideas. C. Interpreting the author's claims. D. Establishing patterns from ideas. Nine. Your teacher assigned you to gather more information about a topic and make an explanation of your understanding after reading many sources. What is the most appropriate step to do? A. Explain each idea separately. B. Explain about one source only. C. Integrate ideas into one writing. D. Copy all data and submit the paper. 10. What is formed when you synthesize information from various sources? A. A different concept. B. A strong argument. C. A new understanding. D. Well-organized discussion. Let us start to learn by answering these 5 questions. Here we go with number 1. What is the first step in synthesizing information? A. Analyzing the information. B. Gathering information from various sources. C. Creating a synthesis. D. Evaluating the information. Moving on to question number 2. Which of the following sources is not reliable for synthesizing information? A. Peer-reviewed academic journals. B. Personal blogs. C. Government reports. D. Expert interviews. Moving on to question number 3. What is the final step in synthesizing information? A. Analyzing the information. B. Gathering information from various sources. C. Creating a synthesis. D. Evaluating the information. Keep on. This is question number 4. Which of the following is not a benefit of synthesizing information? A. Making sense of complex topics. B. Making informed decisions. C. Getting lost in the details. D. Seeing the bigger picture. Make a perfect score. Here is the last question. Number 5. What is the purpose of identifying common themes and patterns when synthesizing? Information? A. To highlight differences between sources. B. To create a cohesive whole. C. To determine the perspective of each source. D. To evaluate the credibility of each source. Synthesizing is the process of combining information from multiple sources to create a new understanding or perspective on a particular topic. It involves identifying key ideas and themes from various sources, analyzing how they relate to one another, and using that analysis to create something new. In academic or research contexts, synthesizing often involves reviewing a wide range of literature or data, such as research studies, articles, and reports, and pulling together key findings or insights. In other contexts, synthesizing might involve combining ideas from different speakers in a conversation, or combining information from different news sources to form a more complete understanding of an event or issue. Effective synthesizing requires strong critical thinking skills, the ability to identify patterns and connections between different sources of information, and the ability to communicate complex ideas clearly and effectively. It is an important skill in many fields, including research, journalism, and business. So, how do we go about synthesizing information? Let's break it down into a few steps. Step 1. Gather information from various sources. The first step in synthesizing information is to gather it from various sources. These sources may include books, articles, websites, videos, interviews, and more. It's important to ensure that the sources are reliable, accurate, and relevant to the topic at hand. Step 2. Read and analyze the information. Once you've gathered the information, it's time to read and analyze it. This involves reading through each source carefully and highlighting or taking notes on the most important information. You should also analyze each source to determine its perspective, biases, and credibility. Step 3. Identify common themes and patterns. After you've analyzed each source, it's time to identify common themes and patterns. Look for similarities and differences between the sources, and group similar ideas together. This will help you see the bigger picture and understand the topic as a whole. Step 4. Create a synthesis. The final step is to create a synthesis of the information. This involves combining the common themes and patterns into a cohesive whole. You should also evaluate the information and identify any gaps or inconsistencies. Below are the strategies in synthesizing essential information from many sources. Before we read, we need to recall the background knowledge and experiences. During reading, we need to do the following. 1. Identifying the theme and important ideas. 2. Comparing authors' views, and 3. Interpreting the author's ideas. And after reading, these are the things we need to do. 1. Summarize. 2. Combine the themes, and 3. Form new idea. Now, let's move on to some exercises and activities to help you practice synthesizing information. Here is a text for us to understand. Read with me. Many people believe that the use of social media has a negative impact on mental health. However, recent studies have shown that this is not necessarily true. In fact, some people find that social media can actually have a positive impact on their mental health by allowing them to connect with others and share their experiences. So, are you ready to answer these questions? 1. What is the main idea of this excerpt? 2. What is the author's purpose in writing this excerpt? 3. What evidence is presented to support the main idea? 4. Do you agree or disagree with the author's point of view? Why or why not? Start sharing your ideas now. Now, let us try this excerpt. Excerpt 2. The novel To Kill a Mockingbird is a classic of American literature, and is still widely read today. The book tells the story of a young girl named Scout, who grows up in a small southern town during the 1930s. Through Scout's eyes, we see the deep-seated racism and injustice of the time, as well as the courage of those who fought against it. So, share your thoughts about these questions. 1. What is the main idea of this excerpt? 2. What is the author's purpose in writing this excerpt? 3. Who is the main character of the novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, and what is the book about? 4. Why is To Kill a Mockingbird considered a classic of American literature? Read to learn more. Excerpt 3. The human brain is a complex and fascinating organ. It is responsible for everything we do, think, and feel. But despite all we know about the brain, there is still much we don't understand. For example, scientists are still trying to figure out why some people are more susceptible to mental illness than others. Answer these comprehension questions. 1. What is the main idea of this excerpt? 2. What is the author's purpose in writing this excerpt? 3. What is the brain responsible for, according to the excerpt? 4. What is one question that scientists are still trying to answer about the brain, according to the excerpt? It is sharing time. Share your thoughts about these. Here are 2 sample excerpts with different authors' views for comparison. Excerpt 1. The use of animals in scientific research is a necessary evil. While it is unfortunate that animals must suffer in order for us to advance our understanding of human biology and medicine, the benefits that come from this research are too important to ignore. Without animal testing, we would not have many of the life-saving drugs and treatments that we have today. Excerpt 2. The use of animals in scientific research is cruel and unnecessary. Animals should not be subjected to painful experiments and procedures for the benefit of humans. It is morally wrong to use animals as test subjects when there are alternative methods available that do not involve harming living beings. In Excerpt 1, the author takes the view that while it is regrettable that animals must be used for scientific research, the benefits outweigh the costs. They argue that animal testing has led to the development of important medical treatments, which would not have been possible without it. This view is often held by those who work in medical research or the pharmaceutical industry, who argue that animal testing is necessary for the safety and efficacy of new treatments. In contrast, Excerpt 2 takes the view that animal testing is cruel and unnecessary. The author argues that animals should not be used as test subjects, because it is morally wrong to inflict suffering on living beings. They also suggest that there are alternative methods available that do not involve harming animals, and that these should be used instead. This view is often held by animal rights activists and those who are opposed to animal testing on ethical grounds. By comparing these two excerpts, we can see that different authors can have very different views on the same topic. It is important to consider multiple perspectives when forming our own opinions on complex issues like animal testing. Here's a sample graphic organizer and an example of how to synthesize the ideas presented. Try to study and synthesize later. So, from the above compare and contrast chart, it is clear that each renewable energy source has its own set of advantages and disadvantages. Solar power is a clean and free source of energy, but its upfront costs can be expensive. Wind power is a non-polluting source, but its availability is dependent on wind patterns. Hydropower is a reliable source of energy, but it can cause damage to natural habitats. Finally, geothermal power provides a constant supply of energy, but it is limited to certain locations. When we synthesize this information, we can see that there is no one perfect renewable energy source that meets all of our needs. Instead, we must weigh the advantages and disadvantages of each source to determine the best option for a given location and situation. Additionally, we can also see that there is a need for continued research and development in renewable energy technologies in order to improve their efficiency and reduce their cost. Your future is in your hands. At your age, you should be planning your career already. Start by interviewing at least 2 adult family members on how to choose the best college course. Listen to their suggestions and reasons. Then, write down how you should choose your career based on your interest and give suggestions. Use the table below. And that concludes our lesson on synthesizing essential information found in various sources. We have covered the key concepts and skills necessary to effectively synthesize information, including identifying key sources of information, analyzing and evaluating that information, and combining different sources to create a new understanding. Remember, synthesizing is an important skill that can be applied in many different contexts, including academic research, professional work, and even everyday life. By mastering this skill, you will be better equipped to tackle complex problems, make informed decisions, and communicate your ideas clearly and effectively. So, keep practicing and applying these skills, and you will continue to improve your ability to synthesize information and create new insights and perspectives. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next lesson.